Bud Light could lose its status as the nation's top-selling beer over the backlash from its partnership with trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney. So far, Bud Light sales reportedly already plunging 26%. In the wake of that deal, Outkick founder Clay Travis joined us now to react. Hey, Clay.
How are you, Ainsley?
I'm doing great. What do you think about that? Ashley was reporting this earlier, and she said that Modelo is just creeping up there. It's on pace to take over.
Well, first, I'm jealous. I hope you have a good time over in London for the coronation. That should be really cool. I'll be watching on Saturday. But for Bud Light, I think this is an unmitigated disaster. And it is completely and totally self-inflicted. And I don't really know how they are going to climb out of this mess, because people are now ridiculing others when they see them drinking Bud Light. Like, if you're a guy and you're out at a bar, for a long time, people would just sort of order Bud Light because it was a generic name brand that everybody knew. Now, many people, when they walk up to the bar or they go out to the grocery and they're buying beer, they're thinking to themselves, I'll buy anything other than Bud Light. And I think this is a warning to all brands out there that have learned over the past 20 years or so, there are no consequences for going super woke in terms of trying to appeal.
You know what, man? I fully agree with that. I fully agree that, again, you know, there's so many companies, man, that are out there. They try to push their agenda onto their customers. They want, again, the super woke stuff. You know, they want to push it onto them. See, the mistake that Bud Light made is they didn't obviously know the customer base. And again, these people, they didn't like the customer base. They really didn't. They didn't like the frat boy type, you know, the everyday American man. You know, they didn't like him. Again, they didn't like the, you know, the swimsuit issue type looking guys, or, you know, out there fixing their cars on the weekend, you know, going to work, taking care of their families, coming home, you know, sitting down, having a beer. You know, again, that's not the kind of image that Alyssa Heinerschein at Budweiser wanted to have. It's not. And they've been a bad mistake. They really did. Again, they said, we don't care about you. We don't care about whatever. We want to revamp this brand. And they made a mistake in doing so. They went after the wrong people. They poked the wrong bear. And now they're down 26% in sales from last year at the same time. And again, you got you know, 4th of July, Memorial Day. You got summer barbecues, cookouts coming up, and you're going to see things get worse for them. And again, man, I made a video back a few weeks ago when this really started taking off, and I said in the video, I said, look, I said, they made a mistake with this, and at some point, Alyssa Heinerschein, or whatever her name is, she's going to get let go. You're going to see that. You're going to see things happen. And, you know, again, and somebody wrote in, they said, well, you don't have as much as somebody like her does. You know, she's the expert, and apparently you don't know what you're talking about. Well, you see what's happening. You see what's happening. And I'm not being arrogant. But I've been around for a little while, and I understand the customer base. I get it. Again, man, I live in the South. I get it. I get their people. And again, they're good salt of the earth people. And they know that men are men and women are women, and you can't cut body parts off, and you shouldn't cut body parts off. And you shouldn't give hormone blockers to kids and whatever. These guys are guys. I hate to use this term, man, but they're real men. They're real men. And, you know, you're slapping them in the face. And guess what? They're going to slap you back. And it's going to be hard, and it's going to hurt. And we see what's happening. We see what's happening.
To the far left wing in this country. And then Bud Light puts out this, remember it was a March Madness advertisement, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. And I've got a theory for you, Ainsley. I'm curious what you would say. Look, to me, this is also representative of most of Bud Light's brand is purchased by men. And in the trans universe, men, by and large, have not responded favorably to influencers relating to the trans audience, right? Women, it seems, there are lots of men like Dylan Mulvaney who decide to identify as women that women have responded to in a favorable way, at least according to marketing. There are none that I can think of women who now identify as men that men have responded to. And so I think it's emblematic of Bud Light not really understanding who their consumer is and alienating. Let's be honest, who was Bud Light going to add by advertising in this manner versus the people that they alienated? Ainsley, they used to make everybody laugh. They used to sell football. They used to sell, partying. They used to sell, let's be honest, humor and also pretty women, right? That was the way you got men to buy beer. And that's none of these things. So I think it's just struck a discordant tone. And if I were in charge of Bud Light right now, and they're trying to do it, I don't know if you saw, they ran a ridiculous country music ad to try to appeal to, I guess, here it is, old school. This is what they used to do in terms of the way to sell. And they've just broken. They've broken their brand, and I think they're in trouble. And I think it's a warning sign to brands everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, either if you're going to get...
Yep, I gotta be honest again, guys. I don't know how long it's gonna take if Budweiser's ever gonna be able to come back from this. I really don't know. But one thing I do know for sure, that Bud Light, man, they're gonna have to get out there and say, you know what, we're sorry. We are sorry. We are sorry that we did what we did because, again, we misread things. We did things wrong. We're putting down our people, our customer base. We're not thinking about what they like, what they want. And again, man, if you're ever gonna sell the beer, if you're ever gonna sell beer like you used to, you're gonna have to. And even then, man, I don't know what the future is gonna hold for Anheuser-Busch. I really don't. I'm not saying the company's going to close or anything. I mean, I'm not even close, man. But they're definitely not going to do what they used to do. And again, man, they made a bad mistake. And people like myself, man, they saw that. Again, man, we used to go when this first, came out and everything. They saw that. They were like, hey, wait a minute, man. That's not good. That's not right. You can't do that. The customer base of that beer, they're not going to put up with this stuff. And again, man, we see that over and over again happening. And, but yeah, I mean, when's it going to come back? Again, when is Anheuser-Busch going to come forward and say, we're sorry. We are sorry for what we did. Because again, at this point, I agree, man. They have broken their brand. They really have. They have broken themselves. And they don't want to come forward and they don't want to apologize because, again, they don't want to be seen as transphobic or, whatever. Because, again, they want to be seen as progressive and this, that, and the other. But, again, they're going to have to. They're going to have to. They're going to have to say, we made a mistake. We did. But hey guys, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks. You son of a.